When you decide to make a change in your life, you are so excited. You know how amazing your life will be once you implement this change. You're eager to do what it takes to make that change happen. After a while, that initial excitement wears off. The work that it takes to make that change a reality isn't fun anymore. As the days go on, you start to slack off. You procrastinate, you don't follow your schedule, you don't do all the items on your to-do list. Fast forward a few months, and you don't do anything. You gave up. Making that change in your life was just too hard. Every single time you want to make a change in your life, you will go through different stages. The 5 stages of goal achievement. The people who fail, who give up halfway there, lack understanding of these 5 stages. By knowing these 5 stages, you'll be able to hang in there and persevere even in the most challenging times. These 5 stages will show you the light at the end of the tunnel, even in the darkest moments. I am Layla from ShutUpAndAchieve.com, and this video is all about the 5 stages of goal achievement. You'll learn what they are and how to get through them to reach success. Before we get into the 5 stages, let's take a look at where they came from. The 5 stages are actually part of Kelly and Connor's emotional cycle of change. These stages represent the emotional changes you experience during your journey. Whether your goal is to start a business, lose weight, or study harder, these are all transformational periods. And you will go through these 5 stages when trying to make it happen. We cannot become what we want to be by remaining who we are. Attempting to achieve your goal will push you to a new level. And as you reach that new level, you will go through these 5 stages. These stages are Uninformed Optimism, Informed Pessimism, the Valley of Despair, Informed Optimism, and Success. Let's take a closer look at the first one. Stage 1, Uninformed Optimism. Not knowing anything is the sweetest life. The uninformed optimism stage is a stage you first enter when you set your goal. You're wearing your pink sunglasses and you're ready to take the world head on. In this stage, all you can imagine is how great your life is going to be when you reach your goal. You imagine the riches, the social status, the prestige. You imagine driving your Lamborghini to the California beach. We love being in this stage. And this stage is called the uninformed optimism because you are so focused on your goal and you've got your pink sunglasses on so that all the work between you and your end destination is colored pink. You are going to love waking up at 4 a.m. and heading to the office. You are going to love spending late nights writing. You love writing. Who needs to go to the movies with their friends when they can stay home and study all day? You're so focused on how amazing your life is going to be when you reach your goal that you're turning a blind eye to the actual work it takes. So in this stage, your focus is on the finish line. You daydream about your post-achievement life so much, it's basically your reality. Your spirits in this stage are quite high. In this stage, you walk around like, I've got this. Your perspective in the uninformed optimism stage is that this is going to be great. You won't be in this stage forever. In a few weeks, you'll move on to stage 2, informed pessimism. So how can you make the most of this stage? In the uninformed optimism stage, build habits. When you take that first step to achieve your goal, you feel so powerful. You are motivated. You will do anything to achieve that goal. Use that motivation and excitement to build habits that will keep you going even when you don't feel like it. Another thing that you can do in this stage to help you get through the rest is to write down your why. Why are you achieving this goal? Why does it matter to you? Why do you want to put in the work and spend the time to reach that destination? Right now, the reason is clear in your mind, and it's driving you forward. But in a few stages, you won't even remember why you started. Write it down and reread it whenever you need a push to keep going. The next stage of goal achievement is informed pessimism. In this stage, you are somewhere between giving up and seeing how much more you can take. You'll know you've entered this stage when your focus shifts from the goal to all of the work it'll take to reach that goal. You don't imagine your post-achievement life as often anymore. Your goal seems much further away. Now all you see is work, 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 and more work, with some challenges and obstacles sprinkled in, of course. You started out thinking, I am going to love doing the work. This is going to be great. And now you don't really enjoy that work. It's tiring, it's boring, it's time-consuming. You don't wake up thinking, yes, I am grateful for this opportunity to achieve. You wake up thinking, man, I got a lot of work to do today. So instead of sticking to the schedule that you set in the uninformed optimism stage, you start to procrastinate, and you make excuses, and you slack off. However, you're still working. You're not going to quit, because even though you don't imagine your goal as clearly anymore or as often, you can still see it. It's there in the distance. It's a bit far away, but with a bit of work, you can get there. That goal is still in the back of your mind, pulling you forward. In this stage, your focus is your daily activities. You are focused mainly on all of the work you have to do to reach your goal. Your spirits are getting lower. You're not as motivated, but you're still in the game. The uninformed optimism stage can be summarized in the sentence, this is not what I was expecting. What are some tips that can help you get through this stage before you reach the valley of despair? The first tip is to track your progress. You're still just a few weeks into your journey. You are not seeing results yet. And that plays a role in your waning motivation. Keep track of the progress that you are making and notice the small wins. Tip number 2 is apply self-discipline. The motivation and drive that you had in the uninformed optimism stage isn't here anymore. You'll need self-discipline to keep going. Tip number 3 is remember your why. You wrote down your why in the uninformed optimism stage. Go back to that. Remember why you're doing all of this hard work. And add to it. Add new reasons why you want to achieve this goal so badly. And with that, we move into the next stage. Stage 3, the Valley of Despair. Even the name is daunting. It's going to get worse before it gets better. If you thought the last stage was bad, just wait until you reach the Valley of Despair. This is the stage in which most quitting happens. Why? Because in this stage, your patience, your discipline, your dedication, your desire to achieve your goal is being tested. Everybody enters this stage, but not everybody makes it out. This is the stage that separates the winners from the losers. In this stage, you don't even remember why you wanted to achieve the goal. The riches, the prestige, the envious looks of your social circle, you don't want it. You don't want to achieve this goal anymore. You want to give up. You're tired of putting in the work. You're tired of waking up early. You're tired of sticking to the stupid schedule that you put when you were in the uninformed optimism stage and blind to everything that was to come. And the worst part is you've been doing this for months and you don't see any progress still. Certainly by now, you should see some progress. You should be at your goal by now, but you're not. And since you haven't seen any progress, since you're not at your goal, you have decided that you want to quit. Your life was just fine before you started working on this stupid goal. You can quit now and head back. In the Valley of Despair, your focus is on how hard achieving your goal is. And your spirits are extremely low. All you can think is, I have had enough. The Valley of Despair is the low point when most people quit. But they don't quit on the goal. They quit on that specific journey. They pass through the uninformed optimism stage. They reach the informed pessimism stage, but they still persevere. They can take a little bit more. They reach the Valley of Despair and they break. They decide that they will not take another minute, and they give up. Yet they only gave up on this journey because a week or two passes, and they realize that they really do want to achieve that goal. They They really do want the riches and the prestige or the beach body or whatever it is they were trying to achieve. So they read a new book, they take a new course, they join a new program, and they jump right back into the uninformed optimism stage. Once again, that leads to the informed pessimism stage, and they reach the valley of despair. Once they reach this low point once again, they'll give up. Then, the same thing will happen again. They'll read a new book, they'll take another course, and they'll decide that they want to achieve the goal again. So, they go right back into the uninformed optimism stage. And they spend their entire life in this cycle. They never reach success. The only way to success is through the valley of despair. You can't jump over it. You won't find a path that doesn't pass through it. Only if you take the pain, only if you say, okay, fine, I'll suffer for a little bit more, will you reach the next stage, informed optimism, and then success. The valley of despair can be summed up, and I hate this, I cannot take it anymore. This stage is not fun. This stage is extremely trying. So what are some tips that can help you push through it and get you to the next stage, informed optimism? My first tip to getting through the valley of despair is to remember how far you've came. You've made it through the few weeks of uninformed optimism. You've made it through the weeks or months of informed pessimism. And now you're in the valley of despair. I can't tell you how long the valley of despair will last. It might be weeks, it might be months, depending on your goal. Yet you've already spent so much time through the different stages. And if you quit now, you're going to have to start from point one. So remember how far you've came. You spent your time, energy, sweat, and blood to get to this stage. Don't throw it away. Keep going. Tip number 2 is to keep your eyes on the prize. In the valley of despair, you don't remember why you even wanted your goal. And if you do remember, you decide that you don't want it anymore. It's not worth it. Revisit the why that you wrote in the uninformed optimism stage. After this stage, you're a winner. You've made it through the worst, and it only gets better. Once you make it through this stage, you reach stage 4, informed optimism. This is when things start getting a lot better. It's been a long time coming, but we're almost there. Once you've made it through the bleak valley of despair, you reach the informed optimism stage. In this stage, you start seeing color again. Your goal is just out of reach. You've made progress and you can see it. Your hard work is finally paying off. You're not at your goal yet, but you're getting there. The work that you have to do isn't hard anymore. You don't have to force yourself to do it. It's become part of who you are. You're excited for your goal just as you were in the first stage, but this time you're armed with knowledge of what it takes to achieve success. Your focus in the informed optimism stage is on the light at the end of the tunnel, and your spirits are high again. You think, I'm getting there. This stage can be summarized in the sentence, I've come a long way, and I'm almost there. My tip for this stage is to enjoy the journey. Success is a moment, but your journey is the long, arduous path that you overcame to reach that success. Enjoy it. The next stage is success. The most rewarding things in life are often the ones that look like they cannot be done. In this stage, it's time to celebrate. You've made it to the end. You reached your goal. It was hard, but you pushed through it and you did it. You proved to yourself and to everyone around you that you can. This stage can be summarized in the sentence, I've made it and it's time for a celebration. Once you reach this stage, remember it's not the end of the journey. This is your launching pad for even more success. Don't settle. You've made it through the valley of despair. It was hard and you did it. Just imagine what else you can achieve. Here's something that I see people do all the time. They achieve success, they revel in that success, and everything that comes with it. They celebrate, as they should. But if you come and check on them in a few years, you'll find that they're in the exact same place. Instead of using their success as motivation to create even more, they use their success as an excuse. They think, I've already achieved that one thing, so I'm good for life. They get lazy. They thrive off the one time they achieve greatness for the rest of their life. Be hungry. You made it through all of the 5 stages once, and you can make it through again. You are now better equipped to achieve your next goal and the one after that. Keep setting goals, keep challenging yourself, and keep achieving them. You have proved that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Success is not what you have, but who you are. I am Layla from ShutUpAndAchieve.com. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Shut Up and Achieve is a website dedicated to your success. We have articles and videos about overcoming obstacles, maximizing your time, setting goals, and achieving success.